Hello everyone. Today we're going to be recording a video that's a little different and a little bit fun. We're going to be reviewing products for reptiles on both Wish and Temu.com. Both of these sites are known for their quality. Needless to say, you don't really know what you're going to get, but you can usually count on it not being what you ordered. I'm hoping to get a little lucky and find some cool stuff here, but today we're just going to be looking and honestly just going in blind and seeing kind of what we can find. First off, let's just try and search what we do here. Ball pythons. Yep, ball pythons. I mean, there's some snakes here. That's Mrs. Doubtfire. Why? And guns. They must be python guns. That's gotta be that. But here's a ball python flag. Yeah, just a random picture they totally have the rights to, that they threw on a flag. My God.
I don't think that's a ball python.
It's a snake. Oh my God. I just typed ball pythons. How is this already what I'm getting? These are blurred, but they are... How do I say this?
They're toys.
They're toys for females. Not for children. They're toys for girls and apparently ball pythons. Oh my God.
There's never gonna be an age-restricted video to this one.
Hey, don't even say that. We just started. Why? That's not even a ball python right there. That's a reticulated python, by the way. But what the fuck? Bleep all this. What side am I on? All right, searching ball pythons isn't working. If you want to see what we saw, don't do it with children around. Let's just type in reptile accessories. Let's start with an enclosure. All right, I don't see an enclosure yet, but there are some hides and caves, mostly turtle related stuff. Here's a bearded dragon hammock. Not really a supply. Here's an enclosure. It's a locking enclosure for 100. It's mesh. It's cave. What? If that's the full size of a gargoyle gecko, that looks like a gargoyle gecko in there. For one, that's too small. Be a nice display enclosure, I guess, for a little while at a show, but it's probably a little too small for them at that size. Maybe a baby. A baby would do fine, but for one, with it being mesh, that's not good. And it's this is supposed to be cheap stuff. It's $120 some. You can spend $70 or so on an Exoterra enclosure that's bigger and better. Okay, this is not good as an enclosure, but I can honestly see this working maybe as a display piece if you are running a show for certain animals. Reviews don't look too great though. It's probably junk, but if it came like that, yeah, I think this would be cool for a setup at a show, maybe. And I would say maybe some insects or spiders, but it's got these little holes inside. I don't know how that would work. So yeah, I'll pass. What is this? Where in the... What? This just looks like junk. Starter kit thickened, prevents escape, transparent enclosure, feeding supplies, glass reptile box for fish tortoises. And it's a whole bunch of money again. I feel like they're offering you cheap shipping here. And that's where they're trying to get you, is because this is not cheap to ship. And Wish, they like to drop ship a bunch of stuff and it saves them a bunch of money because they just ship a bunch of stuff all at once to one central location, I believe is how it works. And then they ship from there. So they get discounts by that. But these are big, awkward enclosures. So they're not gonna save as much on shipping. So they're telling you it's $2.99 to ship, but it's really more, and they're making that up in the price because this is garbage and it looks like it was in a smoker's home from the 70s. As you can see, I'm probably gonna be pretty critical because it forces me to be critical. And this might be my last enclosure that I'm going to review. I believe something similar was reviewed and bought actually on Snake Discovery. So you could check out their video on the actual unboxing of one of these things. They aren't good, especially for the price, but they are theoretically usable for very small colubrids, I'd say, maybe. With hatchlings only. It has a back heat strip, which you're probably gonna need to replace for one that actually works, but it's puny. And again, it's $68. I think Sea Serpents has a 18 tub one for, let's take a look. So So here's a 9 tub from them, 6 quart. So the 6 quart, I believe, is already gonna be bigger than the one that you had there. Yeah, it's more money, but it actually works. I mean, while you're at it, you might as well just get the bigger one here, because it's double the size. But I mean, you get what you pay for, and this is 8 of them. Let's see its review. I want to read its review. Way too small for any animal. Not a good buy. Yep, I agree. We're going to try to also look at some reptile supplies here as well. I don't even know where to begin. Hey, there we go. These little hides here for $3.20. That might be good. However, you can get them for this price at your local store, I think, too, or Reptile Basics for that matter. So just do that. Cork bark. I mean, this might be good if it's not actually just harvested from the wild in China and containing a bunch of parasites. I really don't know if it's real or not. Got some reviews and they're not in English. Not sure if I still have to cook it. Out of context, that might sound kind of like, what? But it's kind of what I was just talking about. If these are just harvested from the wild, there's several reasons why that would be very, 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 very bad. For one, if it contains certain parasites or anything else that come from overseas, that's now become invasive possibly. So don't be surprised if it's seized by the government. But if you go outside and harvest your own sticks and all that sort of stuff, and you want to put those in your enclosure, that is not a very good idea. So that's why they're referring to cooking it. You need to look up an actual video on it because I'm not well versed in doing so. But you think you have to wash them down with some chemicals or maybe just some soap, and then you need to bake them in your oven to kill off any possible parasites that would be in the wood. And it's very important that you do that or you could lose your animal. A lot of tortoise stuff here between bowls and turtle ladders. It just looked like plastic junk though. The most interesting heat tape I've ever seen in my life that probably does not work. Although this review from Jerome, he didn't say anything, but he said it was good. These, regardless of whether they're from Wish or not, are garbage, in my opinion. Also, they appear to be in Chinese. It's also Celsius, but you know, that might work for you. Yeah, these are junk regardless, because the whole point of these is that they measure temperature and humidity. And what does humidity do? It gets under things and it makes them sticky and gross and messed up. And that's what it does to these. It just screws them up. Mark my words, it's gone in about a month or two. Don't waste your time or money on these sticky little things. More often than not, they're more likely to fall off and then get stuck to your animal, causing a major problem. Don't buy these regardless of whether they're from Wish or not. I don't recommend them. Bunch of bowls. These are for lights, I think. Yeah, it's a cover for a light. So if your light is exposed inside your reptile's enclosure, you're supposed to put that over it so that it doesn't touch it and burn itself, I assume. What? Reptile stainless steel food dish, round railing, tortoise dish. Why? There's no way it's a food dish. Please allow some errors due to manual measurement. I can't find any reviews on it, but I don't understand how that's a food bowl.
It's like a bowl for a giraffe or something.
Yeah, it looks like hay. It looks like hay would fit in there.
Maybe that's for leaves. I think it's for leaves.
Maybe you put like lettuce and stuff in there and I eat out of it.
Makes me wonder why a regular bowl wouldn't work though.
Well, this actually isn't a terrible idea if that's what it's for hay or lettuce, stuff like that, because it keeps it out of the substrate. So if that's the case, actually, maybe that's not so bad. It's Wish, what am I kidding? Okay, so a cricket or reptile keeper box. I don't know what the difference between size is, but if you have like crickets and stuff like that, these are not bad ideas. I just wouldn't get yours from Wish. Found another enclosure with a terrible review, and if it's that size, that's probably also why. Again, maybe for shows, it would be kind of nice. Crud. I'm translating this. Unfortunately delivered broken pieces scratched everywhere, too expensive for the price, and cheap quality. Well, there you have it. Don't buy it. Your animal is like half the size of this enclosure, and it's not even a snake. They're more active, I'd say, animals here. Just don't. No. There's a guy at Tinley from Reptile Factory, and I have one for my king snake. We'll show it right here. We've showed it in previous ones. And I paid like $70 for this thing, and it's outstanding. It's much bigger. It's much better. It's not a hunk of junk, and you're not going to have to wait for it. Just go to them, or many others for that matter, but this is unbelievable. Maybe because there's 2 of them, and that's what they're trying to sell off here. But I think there's plenty of 2-story ones that you can find there too. So, no. A snake catcher. It's a snake hook and it's telescopic, so you could probably, extend it. I love the snake that they photoshopped in there for them to catch. They couldn't just put a snake in there. Look. Why would you do it on a newt? That's a newt, or a salamander. I mean, I'm not really great with this species, but why would you don't want to touch these actually, because they drink through their skin. So if you've got anything on your skin, soap, anything like that, they'll ingest that. So I get the not wanting to touch them, but put on gloves. You would not use a hook.
Wait a second, that thing has to be huge. So like, look at it compared to the hook, and then go back to the first image. Look at how small, you can't really see it, but look how small the hand is in the top right.
Oh my God, the snake can eat it.
That means the newt has to be like a foot long.
That one looks the most real of all of them. At least in terms of like a Photoshop job. So I have a telescopic one, and I can honestly say that for most animals, except for very small bodied snakes, it's not gonna work. Since it's telescopic, it loses a lot of its ability to hold real well, and it just bends. They're useless outside of a hatchling, and why, nobody likes being bit, but like, why? Unless you're dealing with small venomous snakes, in which case, why would you be buying from Wish? Oh. Oh my God. This is a thermostat, and it totally won't take you back in time. This looks like it belongs in the DeLorean. I mean, if it works, but what do you do with this? It probably is designed to be put into some sort of circuit board of some sort. I have no idea, but this is straight out of the 80s if I ever seen anything. Again, only Celsius it looks like, which again isn't a problem, really. And its functionality, I'm sure, is plagued by other things. So I said that the previous thing looked like it was from Back to the Future, kind of. What did I bring into this world? That is straight out of the DeLorean. I searched incubator, so I'm pretty certain it's just the thermostat, a fan, and a bunch of wires and temperature probes and humidity probes, I believe. Dear God. I think we're gonna move over to Temu. I have not looked at this one at all, but I thought, hey, there's this new site called Temu. Apparently, oh my God, wow, what a surprise. I saved $100. That is totally not gonna happen if I come back on a different browser on a different computer. I just got super lucky.
You have 59 minutes to climb it,
before it blows up. I'm done. Okay. Oh, and it keeps it down there. Anyway, I didn't plan this to go to here. I didn't think about it, but I've been getting tons of ads on YouTube lately for Temu. So I figured, why not look? Here we go. Oh Lord, let's search ball python again. Oh, well, at least we started with some snakes. It's a cool looking ring. It's just about the same in terms of just random junk. At least it just started with some snakes.
Why is there so many parrots and other birds?
I don't know, and a lot of jewelry. All right, well, ball python's not gonna work. Let's like ball python tank accessories. What? The king snake with a vine and the Titanic, because that's not irrelevant at this time period right now. All right, we're gonna do reptile supplies. I'm not hopeful for this. I feel like this is like a clothing jewelry version of Wish. Let's do enclosure though. Let's see. Oh my God, that is literally a trash bin. What is this? Fish tank, incubator, reptile aquarium, plant terrarium. It's everything all in one for $2, but it doesn't come with batteries. It's just that. It's a little ripoff of the Zoom Ed one.
How does it have 2,000 reviews?
Totally real at nearly 5 stars. I can tell you that the ones that I get are not 5 stars. Nonsense. Breeding box? Yeah. Throw your animal in that and it'll breed for lizards.
Didn't you hear? Spiders and snails are also reptiles. It says it right there in the title.
For lizard, spider, snail pet supplies. Again, 4.5 stars. Crazy. It's almost 8 inches tall and about 5 by 5. And that's a breeding tank. For what? I wouldn't even put a morning gecko into this. Again, maybe for a display for spiders or something. Look at that poor guy. This isn't even good for a reptile display at a show because it covers the top of it. So, I mean, I don't understand the point of this. Please do not buy a gecko and put it in here. That is insane. 4 pieces reptile dish? That's a fake lizard because that's all it's good for is putting toys in. They're actually going to have the audacity again to show this. This is again not a good display. It's maybe bringing animals from place to place because it's kind of semi-clear, a little cloudy, so it wouldn't be good for sales really, but maybe from transportation or for feeding your plastic lizard. This is even worse. The stickers are the best thing I've seen so far. Neat little signs. Those are cute. Turtle basking resting. I trust this implicitly to stay on this when there's gigantic turtles coming onto it with
how the goldfish
photoshopped goldfish floating through the sky. Oh my God.
And that's real, all right?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll all fit on there. And that's totally not gonna fall off on its own. I love how they just showed you that twice for that matter. They're just like, this is gonna break. I mean, there's a bunch of little things here, bowls and whatnot. Like, this might be the coolest thing I've seen on here so far. So they just posted a picture together with it. That's a cool looking terrarium. I'll say that. I'm gonna call it there. Maybe we'll do more of this stuff in the future if we can find something that's a little more unique and stands out. Don't buy from these sites. And on that, we did. We will be releasing a video in about 83 years when those items come about stuff we bought. And I hope to be surprised, but pretty sure I won't be. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see products that actually work, you can check out one of our very first videos right here on enclosures.